Governor Schwarzenegger, and honored guests, welcome to American River College. I am David Dwyer and serve American River College as its president. We're all aware these are challenging times that spotlight the value of partnerships, public and private, business and labor, education and government, partnerships that use taxpayer and business dollars wisely and efficiently, the value of government investment that stimulates and jumpstarts solid ideas to move us forward, the value of building foundations, preparing us for a new, vibrant economic cycle, and the value of education and its role in economic recovery and supporting jobs creation. Here at American River College and our sister colleges in the Los Rios Community College District and the 110 community colleges in California, we join Governor Schwarzenegger in recognizing and working to fulfill those values. The class Governor Schwarzenegger visited today, Energy 140, Electrical Applications for Solar Installers, is an introductory course in American River College's Solar Photovoltaic Installer Program. This program is one of 12 new community college certificate and associate degree programs to train new and incumbent workers for the clean energy industry of California. These are part of the Los Rios Community College District Green Force Initiative to provide 1,000 trained and educated workers over the next 3 years for the new economy and for our region's recovery. These efforts would not be possible without our partners. They include Sacramento Municipal Utility District, Gary King, Pacific Gas and Electric, Von Don Quinlivan, Sacramento International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers and National Electrical Contractors Association Joint Apprenticeship Program, Dennis Morin, Sacramento Employment and Training Agency, Kathy Kosick, and the Community Resource Project, Louise Perez. We'd also like to recognize and thank Secretary Karen Baker, Acting Secretary Doug Hoffner, Barry Sedlick, Chair of the Green Collar Jobs Council, and Secretary Linda Adams. Governor Schwarzenegger, we appreciate your leadership and support of what we are doing in the California community colleges, and we welcome our continued partnership with you as we build a workforce for a renewed California. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of the California Community Colleges, Jack Scott.
Well, thank you, President Dwyer, and it's great to be here at American River College because this is one of the great jewels of the California Community College, enrolling almost 40,000 students. Just imagine the impact they have on this community. And I'm particularly pleased and greatly honored to be here today to introduce Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Governor Schwarzenegger is a great, great friend of the community college. Through his influence, we were able in very tough times to maintain a budget that would have 2% growth in this fiscal year and 3% growth in the next fiscal year. And I applaud the governor for his recognition of the community colleges and what they're doing. After all, Governor Schwarzenegger, I know that you are a proud graduate of Santa Monica College, so you understand exactly what the community colleges do. And we are in tough economic times, but of course the community colleges were protected because Governor Schwarzenegger understands and strongly supports the fact that the community colleges are the most nimble segment of education in retraining people in these very, very difficult times. And it's also a safety net for those who may have, because of the restrictions of enrollment in California State University and the University of California, couldn't get in, but they know that the doors are always open in the California community colleges. And this also brings together something that is very dear to Governor Schwarzenegger, and that is career technical education. I was privileged a few years ago to work with Governor Schwarzenegger on Senate Bill 70 that I authored, and he signed and promoted, and that gave $20 million for career technical programs at its beginning and now has grown to $50 million. As a result of that, many, many students now receive training in career technical education. And I guess the last leg of that three-legged stool is the green economy. We know that through AB 32, Governor Schwarzenegger gave leadership to turning California in a green direction. You know, Governor, you're so green that tomorrow, when they have St. Patrick's Day, you won't even have to wear anything green. It'll just shine through because you've stood up for things that are green, and we know that that's the direction of where jobs may be. Well, anyway, this is wonderful. We're glad to be here, and I just am privileged to introduce a great supporter of education because he cares about students, and a friend of mine, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And I want to say thank you to Chancellor Jack Scott for being such a terrific leader for the community colleges. And, of course, I've known this for years because he was one of those great legislators in the Capitol that always was concerned about education in general. If it was kindergarten through 12th grade or if it was community colleges or higher education, all of those kind of things, and especially also in career tech education. And he's absolutely correct that I am one that appreciates and loves community colleges because I'm a product of community college in Santa Monica. When I first came to this country, that's the first place where I enrolled and got some of my education. And so I'm very appreciative, and that's why I'm very happy to be here today. I also want to say thank you to Secretary Karen Baker and Mayor Johnson and Mayor Dellums and Dr. David Weyer, the president here, and also Fred Evangelisti for taking me around outside and showing me actually of the kind of work that is being done and how well trained the people are, the kids are that have come here to this college. I also want to say thank you to Secretary Doug Huffner and Secretary Linda Adams and Secretary Vicki Bradshaw. All of them are here today because they all know that this is very important, the kind of announcement that we are making here today. I'm thrilled to be here today at the American River College. I want to thank this college for the great leadership. And, of course, we see kind of great jobs that are being produced here for the future. And we are here today to announce a new program that is unlike anything else anywhere in America. Right here on this campus, students are trained for our emerging green economy, which is expanding, of course, every single day. And these are jobs in high demand and exactly what our economy and our environment needs right now. This is why today I'm announcing the creation of the California Green Corps. This is exactly the kind of program that President Obama has envisioned when he put together his economic stimulus package, which is, to create jobs, jobs, and jobs. And those dollars, of course, from the economic stimulus package will help this program to be successful. I met with U.S. Secretary of Labor, Hilda Solis, and talked to her at great lengths about this program, and she was very impressed when we told her what we are doing out here. And, of course, she knows, because she is from this state, how this state always has been on the front when it comes to training for green jobs. And we, of course, taking this now the next step, which is we are focusing on at-risk students and youth. The Green Corps will help underprivileged young people learn job skills while we create a well-trained workforce for clean technology and for the green economy. I've been pushing for this program for a long time because it kind of combines my passion for the environment, for protecting the economy, creating jobs, career tech education, and helping underprivileged kids, and, of course, service. Karen Baker, when we talk about service, she's the Secretary of Service and Volunteerism here in California, and she would take on the challenges of overseeing this very important program, the Green Corps. Karen and her team are uniquely qualified and positioned to work across the state agencies and to bring together all the various different partners for our volunteer program. We're doing something that is very different here. We will bring together nonprofits, foundations, and also businesses. As a matter of fact, we will have a startup capital of $10 million that is through the public-private partnership, and we would then get matching funds from the federal government also, which is very important, from the economic stimulus package from President Obama. This Green Corps will mean that we will be able to train 1,000 underprivileged youth for approximately 20 months, and then they will be ready to go out there and take jobs, and we will help them with placing them on green jobs. And the way it will work is it makes California's Green Corps unlike any other program in the country, because students will be trained for clean technology and green economy jobs. They will receive at the same time some money. At the same time, they must continue their schooling so they stay focused on their education. And they will be also volunteering in the neighborhoods in order to make this world a better place. In the next 5 or 10 or 20 years, California is going to need a lot of workers to install all of those solar panels, because you remember we passed the Million Solar Roof Initiative, and there's being solar panels put on homes all over the state of California faster than in any other place in America. We need also more sheet metal workers to produce wind turbines, and more construction workers to build cogeneration units. So this is the bottom line here, is we're trying to put all of this together, helping underprivileged young kids, then protecting the environment and protecting the economy. It's about education and jobs. Thank you very much. And now the next person I want to call out is Mayor Ron Dellums to say a few words about this. Please welcome him.
Governor Schwarzenegger, to Mayor Johnson and my distinguished colleagues, this is an extraordinary day. We come together against the backdrop of two important problems that confront this nation. One, an unprecedented economic downturn and the extraordinary challenges of global warming that require us to do our level best. To not address this issue is not an option. Today brings both of these matters together. Before I go further, I would like to say that I'm extremely pleased to be here at American River Community College. I began my college education in a community college, as did the governor. I believe that community colleges are the flagship of education in our communities. They're affordable, accessible, and flexible. And for those reasons, they will play a significant role as we address the economic challenges going forward and the challenges of global warming. I'm extremely pleased. First, I would like to thank President Obama, because we now have someone in the White House who gets it, who understands that global warming is not a theory, it's a reality, who gets the fact that we've got to partner with the states and the cities. We're not the problem, we're the solution. I'd like to thank Governor Schwarzenegger for his continued leadership in addressing policy, programs, and ideas to confront the problem of global warming in our world, in our nation, and in our state, and in our various communities. I'm extraordinarily pleased to be here today because Oakland pioneered this idea with Ella Baker Center, Green for All, and several other organizations. We put together resources with the support of the Oakland City Council and communities to create the first Green Jobs Corps idea that has now mushroomed not only into a state program, but into a national program, right even into the White House of this country. It embraces a very simple yet extraordinarily elegant idea: fight poverty and fight pollution simultaneously. Take those persons who have been forced to live on the margins of our community and train them not for obsolescence, but train them for the challenges of the future as we attempt to green our various cities, green the state, green the nation, and green the world. What an exceptional, extraordinary idea. Here's one train that people weren't able to get on, but the green train is a train that must leave the station, and putting them on that train can change their very lives. So I'm extraordinarily pleased to be here, to stand with the governor, to stand with all of my colleagues, to stand with the mayor of Sacramento as we make this new effort. This is one more arrow in the quiver as we attempt to address this issue. Greening is not the color of the month. It's an absolute imperative. We either address this issue or we don't survive. And coming together in this elegant idea, utilizing these dollars to create the models in the cities and in the regions that ultimately can be captured by the nation and the world is very important. I'm extremely pleased to be here, to be part of this extraordinary coalition, to train these young people. My final comment, think about these young people who are now training in this area as the astronauts of the Green Revolution. You are on the cutting edge. You are at the very beginning of this revolution. You are the ones who will stand there as the first people in the battle to reclaim this planet. And my generation made the mistake of thinking that we had time. Your generation cannot make that mistake. Time is not on your side. And so here's a program that will allow us to go forward. With those remarks, I would like to introduce my distinguished colleague, the Mayor of Sacramento, Mayor Kevin Johnson.
I'd like to thank Mayor Dellums for his remark, and certainly his city has been at the forefront of leading this green job training effort. And welcome to Sacramento, and you might be out in the forefront, but we're going to copy all we can to bring here to Sacramento. Not too proud to copy. I'm thrilled to lend my support to California Green Corps program. We need to expand all of our training opportunities so that the growing green industry becomes real for all those. If the green industry is going to grow, we need to make sure we have a highly skilled workforce. And that is what's so important about this program, because there's many young people that are on the outsides, and we're going to bring them in, the high-risk young people, and give them an opportunity. By the time this program finishes, the pilot program, you'll have 1,000 young people that will have jobs in the green industry, and that is significant for the state of California. I also am very pleased to say that we as a state, and certainly we as a city, have an opportunity to be a hub when it comes to the green industry. In our region alone, we have 100 businesses that we need to build on, 2,000 employees, $600 million of sales here in our region. We have a chance to be at the cutting edge of this, and this is a very significant first step. This program, the green program, in terms of California, needs to be expanded on, and we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of the economic stimulus dollars that have come from the federal government to the state. Governor, don't stop them at the state. Let them come to the cities now. Let them flow to us as cities, because we're the ones who put people to work at the city level. I want to tell you one quick story. As the governor was touring the classrooms, he was asking people to speak and give comments, and everyone was speechless. They didn't give him anything. Finally he said, "Can you at least tell me something?" They said, "We've never seen you before. We forgot what even classroom we're in." So the governor has a huge impact, and it's his leadership. It's his leadership when it was not popular to say that he was going to lead the green revolution. Let's give another round of applause for Governor Schwarzenegger. It is my honor again to be here today at your community college, and I'd like to introduce the Secretary of Service and Volunteering, Karen Baker.
Thank you so much, Mayor Johnson. This is such a great honor to have California volunteers in this leading role. Governor, I can think of nothing that marries all of your passions. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. We've got the green movement going on here. We've got your commitment to youth and your passion for service. And I think the California Green Corps is an amazing part of what will be your legacy and the legacy of the 9 regions that you look forward to having us work in partnership with. I think that's what's demonstrated by who is speaking before you. These are people that are very much working with the community, in the community, which is why I think California Volunteers was really selected as the entity to work with our partners in the state, like the wonderful Cal EPA, Labor and Workforce Development, Resources, and many others, to put this initiative together. We're going to be working with our state partners, but we have to be in touch with those hundreds of nonprofits, those businesses, those community colleges, those foundations that all have to be, if you will, in the sandbox playing well together in order to really create these amazing opportunities for youth. This is just such an exciting initiative. Our youth are really ready to rise to this occasion. If you're young, can I hear you? All right. I think we can make some more noise back there. Okay. I think if you're young, and I'm gonna make a little noise on that. I just want you to know we're ready to get you to work, and I think you care about being a part of this leading cutting edge of the green economy. I want to again thank the governor for his leadership. This is an incredible, inspiring man who got it before many of us did, and I'll just have him join me at the mic for any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to do a press conference with so many comedians. I mean, I love that. Anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free. Yes, of course.
I don't know if you read the Sacramento Bee article this morning about how state government has done tons of hiring despite the budget crisis, despite the financial crisis. Can you defend hiring 2,000 full-time workers in the last 9 months?
Yes. As you know, when the economy goes down, then, of course, people need more services. And even though we have to make cuts in those services, but we still have to provide people with the workforce. And so we just saw recently with the unemployment problem that there were so many people that are now unemployed. So when they call and try to get help and file for unemployment, there's an automatic answering machine there, but no person. So we had to, of course, staff and bring more people in. So that's how you create a bigger workforce. So it is natural. But the important thing that you should know is that during my administration, since I've been in office, government only grew 3.7%. That is the lowest of any governor in recent history. I mean, if you think about Ronald Reagan, the government grew by 13%, took Majan by around 8%. Pete Wilson was the lowest, actually, with 4.6%. So 3.7%, it just shows you how low that is. So we are very conscious of that. We want to make sure to make government more efficient, which was part of our budget negotiations to bring together more of the agencies and departments. So we are very conscious of that.
Between the program that you've set up today versus what was going on inside the classrooms because we couldn't see it, what is the correlation between the program and what's going on here?
Well, I think that the reason why we wanted to do it here and visit the classrooms is because it's exactly what we were talking about. Here they learn how to install, for instance, solar panels, or we watched how they take measurements of how much sun is absorbed by the solar panels and what position the solar panels ought to be and for how long they'll be out there, what is the difference when there's sunshine and when there's a cloudy day like the day and so on. So they're really learning very, very important information, and when they get trained in a college like here, then they can go out and go to work. And we believe very strongly that the biggest explosion will be in green technology, in the green economy. And this is why I think it's important we get the workforce ready. And this is why you've heard everyone here talk about the synergy of bringing all those important elements together. First, we need to help our underprivileged youth. Second of all, we have to help those that are dropping out of school and that are floating around and don't have any hope, and they need a job, they need the education. So here they can come and enroll and get some great training. Number three, we know that we need the workforce in the future. And so all of this together, and protecting the economy and protecting the environment at the same time. So all of those things come together. This is why this is such a great program. And we are so happy that the Obama administration has looked at that as an important part of the economic stimulus, that you not only want to provide jobs and stimulate the economy, pump money out there, but you also want to train the young people, or to train also people that are maybe older, to retrain them for these various different jobs that are available now and that are available in the future. Yes.
What good is it to spend this much money to train people when there aren't very many jobs in California? When they may go elsewhere to another state and we're training other people that are leaving?
Well, I think that we are very fortunate that we have been right on the money when we talked about that 5 years ago, that the green economy and the green technology is where the future is. And so when you look at now, there's many places that are hiring people now that are into green technology. Because as you know, we didn't stop installing the solar panels. We are still building those windmills. All of this stuff is going on, and our work towards geothermal and wind power and solar power and so on, because our goal is to have 33% of renewables by the year 2020. So we are way ahead of any other state in the United States. As a matter of fact, we feel very honored in a way that the Obama administration is trying to do the same things when it comes to reducing the tailpipe emission standards, or with the green technology reducing, having a bigger portfolio in green technology and reducing the greenhouse gases down to the 1990 level. All of the things that California has been doing. So this is where the action is. We're going to follow through, and this is where the jobs are. So we want to let the young people know there's a great future in California. And here's the action in colleges like this is where you get the training, and where we will be preparing you in a 20 months training for the future and to get a job. And we will also help you find a job. Yes.
Can I just add some?
Yes.
May I make just one quick?
Please.
I'd like to make a couple quick comments to your question. First of all, the green economy is the way forward. So that's the first answer to your question. This is the economy that will generate employment. All of the studies, all of the reports indicate significant jobs, significant economics if we accept the challenges of dealing with global warming. Number two, it's an imperative. We have no choice here. The science is in. Global warming is a reality. The potential of inflicting human damage on human beings in this country and in this world is extraordinary. It's beyond our ability to comprehend. So we have no option here. We have to address this issue. So A, it's the solution, and B, it's the imperative.
Governor, can you
Yes.
Governor, can you talk to us about whether or not Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty has contacted you about Sarah Jane Olson, and do you feel she should stay here or be able to return to Minnesota when she's released tomorrow?
I let the Department of Correction take care of that. And they have done a great job always with all of those issues. And so we will not make any exceptions. We're going to let them continue taking care of those kind of issues, and they will find the right solution for the problem. Yes.
The proposed budget cuts may affect the classrooms like the ones you visited earlier?
No, as a matter of fact, as you have heard Chancellor Chuck Scott talk about, that we actually put more money into community colleges, which is one of those last-minute things that I have accomplished in our budget negotiations, because I'm a big believer, since there will not be that many people be able to go to the regular universities because of the increase in fees and so on. We have to have a safety valve. We have to have for our students a place to go. So I think community college is the next best place for them to go if they can't go there. And so therefore money was needed, extra money was needed. So this is why we provided extra money for community colleges. As I said, I'm a big believer in community colleges. I think a lot of answers lie right there. It is something where you can get great training for jobs, for various different jobs. And also it's a great stepping stone if you want to then go to the four-year university or study law or anything else. So I have seen it over and over that I have done that. And so this is why I will support community colleges always, especially now. It's an important time in the economic crisis to support community colleges. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.